She never meant to hear it, but once she did, she could never unhear it. It was a soft laugh coming from the other room, not his. Heron, Ava, and Marcus had been married for 6 years. Not a perfect marriage, no such thing exists, but good, safe, familiar. Marcus was a school principal, disciplined, reliable. Ava ran her own art studio, emotional, passionate, full of life. They were opposites, and for a long time that worked. But lately, they'd become strangers in the same house. Ava began staying late at the studio. More clients, more exhibitions, more excuses. Marcus didn't press. He trusted her. Until one Friday night she came home and kissed him, like she didn't mean it. He wanted to believe she was just tired. But that night when she went to shower, her phone buzzed, and for the first time in 6 years, he looked. Message on screen. Last night was perfect. I can still feel you. Name hidden. He didn't confront her, not right away. Instead, he started paying attention, the way she smiled while texting, the new perfume, the quiet, almost guilty affection. He wasn't looking for proof of betrayal. He was trying to remember when she stopped looking at him like he was the love of her life. One night, while she was asleep, he found it, tucked inside her coat pocket, a second phone, only one contact. Jay. Messages like poetry. I miss the way you taste. Counting the hours until you're mine again. Does he suspect anything? Marcus stood in the kitchen until sunrise. He wasn't angry, not yet. He was hollow. Ava hadn't meant to fall for anyone else. But Jay saw her, the real her. Not just the wife, the homemaker, the organizer of bills and dinners. He made her feel new again, desired, alive. But Ava didn't stop loving Marcus. She just forgot what love was supposed to feel like. One evening, Ava said she was going to the studio late. Marcus kissed her goodbye, told her he loved her, and then he followed her. She didn't go to the studio. She went to a townhouse on the edge of the city. Lights on, curtains drawn. Marcus sat in his car outside for 4 hours. Then he drove home. He poured himself a drink, sat in silence, and heard it. Laughter from the other room. But Ava wasn't home. He walked down the hallway, paused, put his ear to the door of her art studio. The door creaked open, empty. Just the voice memo app on her tablet, playing back laughter. Jay's voice. She had recorded him. A conversation from a night before. Jay recorded, "You're gonna leave him, right?" Ava recorded, "I don't know, I don't want to hurt him." When she got home, Marcus was waiting at the kitchen table, the second phone beside his whiskey glass. Marcus, calm. "I hurt him." Ava, silent. Marcus, "You didn't just cheat on me. You chose someone else and tried to keep me as your backup plan." Ava, breaking. "I didn't want to lose you, but I didn't know how to find us again." He didn't yell. He didn't cry. He just stood up and walked into the other room, the same one where she used to paint love letters in color. Now it was just walls. Ava lives alone now. The art studio is quiet. Her phone lights up sometimes, but she doesn't answer. She tried to call Marcus once. He didn't pick up. Because some betrayals aren't about lust. They're about being unseen, unchosen. Infidelity doesn't always begin in a bedroom. Sometimes it starts with a feeling. That grows in the quiet, in the space between words, and in their case, it ended in the other room. Marcus's new apartment, early morning light. It's strange how silence can echo. In the weeks after he left, Marcus didn't fill the space. No photos, no music, no new beginnings. He just existed. And some days, that was the hardest part. Because it wasn't just the betrayal that hurt. It was the truth he'd been avoiding. He had already lost Ava before she cheated. Ava's guilt. Ava wasn't sleeping. The art stopped. Her canvases stayed white. Her hands stayed clean. She'd ended things with Jay the night Marcus found out, deleted the second phone, locked the memories in a box she couldn't throw away. She didn't want Jay. She wanted Marcus. But some apologies don't come with do-overs, just echoes. It had been 3 months. Ava hadn't seen him. Until she walked into the bookstore they used to visit every fall. He was there, reading, alone. She froze. He looked up, no anger in his eyes, just distance. Ava, softly. "Hey." Marcus, "Hey." She wanted to say more. He didn't invite her to. Before the betrayal, there were signs. He'd stopped asking about her day. She'd stopped waiting up for him. Love didn't die in one moment. It faded. And when Jay came along, attentive, curious, daring, Ava mistook the spark for salvation. But it wasn't. It was escape. Marcus starts journaling. He goes to therapy, learns about grief after betrayal, not just of losing her, but of losing who he thought he was in that marriage. He forgives her, internally, not for her, for himself. One day, a letter arrives at Marcus's door, from Avenue, no name on the envelope. Inside, "I never told you why I started slipping away. I blamed you in my head for the distance I helped create. But you never stopped being kind. You never deserved what I did. I don't want to rewrite us. I just needed you to know I still look for you in every room I walk into, even the empty ones." Marcus folds the letter. He doesn't reply. 6 months later, Marcus has a new life, not perfect, but peaceful. He runs into Ava again, at a gallery. She's painting again, soft blues, wounded reds. "Ava, I'm not here to ask for anything." Marcus gently. "Then maybe we can just be two people who once loved each other, in the same room." They walk through the exhibit. Not holding hands, but not strangers anymore. Ava, voiceover. "Some people say infidelity ends love, but the truth is, love can survive betrayal. What it can't always survive is pretending it never happened." They didn't go back. They moved forward, separately, stronger. Sometimes love is not about who stays, but who learns to let go with grace. And in the echoes of the other room, they finally found silence. Sometimes, moving on doesn't mean forgetting. It means choosing what hurts less. And for Ava, it meant finally opening her heart again, not to Marcus, to someone else. His name was Julian. He was calm, attentive, and didn't ask her to be anything but who she was. They met at a gallery opening. He didn't know her story, and that was what made her breathe again. With Julian, there were no ghosts, no silence to fill, just laughter, light, and the feeling of finally being seen, without guilt. Marcus wasn't looking for her, but the city is small in all the worst ways. He saw them, in the park, laughing, close. A moment that once belonged to him, now lived with someone else. He didn't look away, didn't approach, just stood at a distance, watching her smile in a way she hadn't in years. And it hit him. She was gone. That night his phone buzzed. Text from Ava. "I saw you. I hope you're okay," he replied. "You look happy?" She didn't respond. Not for days. Then finally, "I am. But that doesn't mean I forgot us." Weeks later, they met for coffee, not to rekindle, to release. Marcus gently. "He seems good for you." Ava. "He is. He makes things feel easy again." Marcus. "I always thought we'd find our way back." Ava, tearfully. "I did too. For a long time." Marcus, soft smile. "But you don't wait for broken doors to open anymore." She nods. And for the first time, they both understand. Their love was real, but it had a deadline. Ava marries Julian 2 years later. Marcus doesn't attend. but he sends her a painting she once left unfinished. She hangs it in her new home. No note attached. She knows it's from him. Marcus walks the beach alone. He isn't sad, he's light. Because sometimes closure isn't in reunion, it's in accepting that the story ended exactly where it was meant to, and maybe the next chapter starts when you finally close the old book. Please don't forget to subscribe and like for more.